सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ज्ञानानन्दमयं देवं निर्मलस्फटिकाकृतिम् आधारं सर्वविद्यानां हयग्रीवमुपास्महे। ओम श्री हयग्रीवाय नमः। ओम श्री वल्लभा समेत श्री महागणाधिपतये नमः। So we were looking at the topic of samvidah atmatva-upapattih. Samvid is atma, chaitanyam is atma, or atma is jnana swarupaha. Now, in this context, if you say that atma itself is samvid, means it is jnanam or anubhava. Also, you can take all these are paryaya padas for us. All these we use synonymously. So the Purva Pakshi is raising a question that if you say atma is jnana swarupa, then but nobody says anubhavoham. Okay. Aham anubhavami. Like that only the vyavahara is there. There is no vyavahara that aham anubhavaha. Like that. So there is no pratiti like that. There is no experience like that. And aham anubhavami, that pratiti is never badita also, he says. Okay. It is not negated in the vyavahara, at least. It continues, in fact, till the person dies. So, how can you say that Atma is Anubhavaha, Jnana Swarupaha? This is the fundamental question here. That is the discussion here. So now, in fact, in this there is a fundamental question comes. This is also relevant to modern Vedanta interpretations also. Because here, Bellangonda makes one interesting statement. He says, Nacha pratitehe swataha pramanyam iti vachyam, he says. Because experience is talked about as a big thing in modern Vedanta, correct? They all talk about that you have to experience the self, or you have to have some special experience of the self. For that you sit in meditation. Why are you studying the Shastra? This kind of a confusion is very much there, even in well-meaning people. Okay, those who have taken sannyasa and dedicated their life for this pursuit also, they are all sitting for some light bulb moment or whatever, correct? Some special experience will happen and they will become realized and things like that. That means the experience is talked about as something very big. But here, pratitehe swataha pramanyam iti na vachyam, he say. Experience is not even counted as a pramana, correct? We have shad or 6 pramanas. In that, okay, pratyaksha can be counted as like an experience, okay, because but it is still indriya pratyaksha, we say. But what we say is experience may be misleading, correct? Or experience does not mean that you have wisdom. There is a big difference between experience and wisdom. And experiences also can be erroneous, simply. Because even rope snake is an experience, correct? But of course, the Purva Pakshi will say that rope snake is experience, but that experience is negated when you know the rope, correct? But here, aham anubhavaha iti, experience itself is not there. But aham anubhavami is the experience, and that doesn't have any badha in your entire life. Okay. So how can you say that Atma is this Jnana Swarupa or Anubhava Swarupa and all that? Okay, once this is said, then we counter him, because here the Purva Pakshi is Vishishtadvaitam. Okay. So we are asking him, what about aham manushyaha iti pratitihi? I think we were here up to this argument we came in the last class. So he is asking, nacha mama anubhavaha iti pratitehe kenapi bodaha nasti eva, and tad bhadasya ananubhavadeva iti vacham. This is what I was explaining to you, because they are claiming that aham anubhavami, like that whatever is there, that doesn't have any bada. But if you say that, what our counter is what? Aham manushyaha iti pratitehe api kenapi badaha nasti eva anubhavat iti pratyaha bauddhaha. So the Buddhist is accusing you and us, because you are a Vishishtadvaitin, but you are also a Vaidika. And as a Vaidika, the Veda reveals Deha Vyatirikta Atma. Everybody accepts that. You also accept Deha Vyatirikta Atma. In fact, Deha Vyatirikta Atma only can have Loka Gamanam and all that, correct? Otherwise, there is no point in even talking about Swarga, Swargaloka, Pitraloka, whatever, or even Naraka for that example, correct? Deha Vyatirikta Atma has to be revealed by the Shruti, because the Buddhist doesn't accept that, the Charvaka doesn't accept that. So with respect to the Atma itself, there is no consensus. What is the Atma Swarupa? Why I am saying this is, in another context also, this Bhashyakara talks about this Deha Vyatirikta Atma as revealed by Shruti, because Deha Vyatirikta Atma, Swarga, Dehantara Sambandhi Atma also. It is not automatic. Understand that. That if the if the Atma is different from this body, it doesn't immediately follow that it can take up another body also, correct? Even that only Veda has to reveal. All these things are all, they are not Kriya revealing Vakyas, correct? Because the Purva Mimamsaka says that Amna yase Kriyarthatvat. Anything which is not a Kriya, if it is revealed by the Veda, it is all Arthavada. Things like that. They are arguing only Veda can reveal only Kriya. But Vedantin comes and says Veda can reveal even Siddha Vastu Vishaya. Already a factual knowledge also Veda can reveal. In fact, if Veda doesn't reveal all these facts, your entire Kriya itself is meaningless. Like that Bhashyakara argues in the Brihadaranyaka Sambandha Bhashya. It is one of the important arguments that Veda has to reveal these facts. Then only the karma you do, if it take that, you can even believe that it will take you to Swarga, and there you can take some other Deva Sharira and enjoy and all that, correct? So anyway, what we are saying is, based on this Shastra Jnana, you are saying Aham Manushyaha is Adhyastha, correct? It is erroneous. It is erroneous knowledge. Even you have to accept that Aham Manushyaha, Manushyatvam is only in the body. But the Vyavahara is what? Aham Manushyaha, like that. But the Buddhist is saying, no, Manushyatvam is whatever, it is Atma only. It is Atma Dharma. But finally, they don't accept Atma itself. That's a different thing. But they can raise it as a objection to us. So what are you going to answer? Because there is no Badha for Aham Manushaha also. Till the time a man lives, till the time a human being is alive, there is no Badha for that. How can you say it is Deha Dharma? So, apicha mama manushyaha iti pratiti abhavat. So further, Belangonda is saying there is no mama manushyaha. It is aham manushyaha, correct? If you say manushyatvam is deha dharma, then you have to say mama manushyaha or mama manushyatvam and all that. But that is not the pratiti. So, abhavadeva manushyatvam atma dharmaha eva natu deha dharmaha iti. Okay. So, if you hold on to ideas like this, then you also have to accept that Manushyatam is Atma Dharma and not Deha Dharma. Okay, once we say this, what? Nacha Vedanta Shastrad Asti Manushyoham iti pratitehe badaha iti vachyam. So, now there is no Badha for this pratiti. Okay. In experience, but even now they are accepting. See what they are saying. Vedanta Shastra Dasti Manusyoham. Purva Pakshi accepts that. And he says that. But even if you say that, what you cannot say that. If you say that, what we will say? Tarhi tataha eva mama anubhavaha iti pratitehe api badaha iti vidhi. So then accept here also aham anubhavami also is similar. It is similar to aham manushyaha. If Shastra is the badaka there, for aham anubhavami also Shastra is the badhaka. Okay, so tarhi we will also say that Shastra reveals aham anubhavaha, not mama anubhavaha. Correct? Mama anubhava iti pratiteha api badaha is there. Then my experience you may say, but it is really rahoshiravati we have to say. Correct? Mama anubhavaha, even if you say, it is like saying head of Rahu. Rahu is nothing but head. The Shashti there is meaningless. Okay. So mama anubhavaha iti pratitehe api badaha iti vidhi. Okay. Once we say this, what now they will come back. He is saying nacha nasti atmanaha anubhava rupatva pratipadakam Vedanta Shastram iti vachyam. So now what he is saying, nasti atmanaha anubhava rupatva pratipadakam Vedanta Shastram, means he is saying no, there is no Vedanta Shastra vakya which says that Atma is anubhava. If it says like that, then you can take it as a badaka. But there is no vakya like that. If they claim, then what do we say? Then what? Take this. There are hundreds of vakyas. So he is now quoting Brihadaranyaka. He is saying what? Vijnanam Anandam Brahma ityadi Sattva Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma Prajnanam Brahma. So many are there. That Atma is Jnanam, Nyapti Swarupa is revealed by the Upanishad. So that basically makes Aham Jnata as a Adhyasa only, correct? The Jnatritvam on Atma is Adhyastha. That's what we are trying to establish. But the Vishishtaadvaitin is saying Atma is a Jnata. That is the reality. And that's why the Jnata can say Aham Anubhavami. Then Anubhava is separate. My experience and all that. That is their contention. So we are saying Vijnanam Anandam Brahma is there. There are many other Vakyas also. And what we are saying, Tvaya api atmanaha anubhava rupatvasya abhyupetatvat. Also, you also accept here, because you also talk about a dharmi bhuta jnanam, correct? Which is swarupa jnana. So you are also accepting this vakya. But then they also say, but there are other vakyas which are talking about the shakti is there, correct? And therefore they say dharma bhuta jnanam also is there. That is their contention. But anyway, you accept this much, this vakya you are also accepting. So what he is asking now, Kim aham anubhavami iti vat mama swarupam jnanam iti lokaha pratyeti yena anubhava balad atmanaha jnana swarupam iti uchyeta. So how can you say, we are asking that similar to aham anubhavami, mama swarupam jnanam, like this, in the loka they are not perceiving. So therefore are you saying that this anubhava bala is not there? Therefore this atma jnana swarupam, like that we cannot say. Are you saying like that? Or only if that anubhava bala is there we can say that atma is anubhava and it is not a bhokta or whatever, correct? Or what are you saying? Kimva tata vidha anubhava abhavat atma jnana swarupaha na iti tvaya vaktum shakyate. So or can you claim that because such anubhava is not there, in fact you cannot claim such anubhava is not there for everybody also. Understand that. The jnanis do have aham anubhavaha iti anubhava. Jnanis anubhava is that aham jnana swarupaha. Anyway, are you claiming that because there is no such anubhava, tata vida anubhava abhavat, Atma Jnana Swarupaha na, and only if such Anubhava is there, then we can say that Atma is Anubhava. So is it your contention? That's what we are asking. Okay. So only then you can accept Tvaya Vaktum Shakyate, that you can say that Atma is Anubhava. Therefore, what we are saying, Tasmad Aham Manushyaha iti pratitihi yatha देह तादात्म्य अध्यास प्रयुक्तत्वेन प्रमाणम तथा अहम सुखम अनुभवामि इत्यादि प्रतीतिः अपि अंतःकरण तादात्म्य अध्यास प्रयुक्तत्वेन अप्रमाणमिति न तद्बलाद् आत्मनः अनुभव रूपत्वं प्रत्याख्यातुं शक्यते. So now finally what we are saying, therefore what, like you accept aham manushyaha is also that pratiti is due to their tadatmya adhyasa. Even you have to accept that. Even Dvaitins have to accept that. In fact, that is why Bhashyakara in the Brihadaranyaka Bhashya, I think at the end of the third chapter, last Brahmana, he says that for everybody, avidya avastha and vidya avastha are there. Even for Dvaitin, aham manushyaha and all is avidya only. They also have to talk about vidya. So there is avidya avastha which is samsari avastha for Dvaitin also. Samsara is there only due to avidya even for them. And moksha is vidya avastha. That is common for all. That is the beauty. But how do they define this avidya and vidya and all? There are differences are there. Okay. Or how, what is the means, etc. They talk about jnana karma samuchaya, etc. But this is common. So you also accept that aham manushyaha is basically a deha tadatmya adhyasa only. Because of that only that kind of anubhava is there, and that is not pramana. That is apramanam only, even though it is anubhava. Aham manushyaha iti anubhava may be there, but that cannot be taken as valid. It is apramanam. Similarly, what we say, tatha, aham sukham anubhavami, or aham sukhi, aham dukhi, all these things are there. These things are what? Antakarana tadatmya adhyasa. The states of mind, emotional states of mind, you identify with that. There is a tadatmya adhyasa is there, because of which you can say aham sukham anubhavami or aham sukhi, all these kinds of pratiti is there. Okay, it is all only antakarana tadatma adhyasa prayukta. It is all due to this superimposition of atma and the internal organ, which is antakarana, and therefore it cannot be taken as valid or pramana. It is also equally apramanam. Like aham manushyaha is apramanam, aham sukhi dukhi also is only pramanam. Iti na tad balad. So based on that kind of anubhava, you cannot say that atma is not anubhava rupa. Correct? So na tad balad atmanaha anubhava rupatvam pratyakyatum. Pratyakyatum means you cannot talk against this atma is anubhava rupa. Shakyate. You cannot dismiss it. Why? Because tasya abadita upanishad pramana janyatva. Because atma anubhavaha iti jnanam is coming from where? That from the Upanishad, and whatever the Upanishad reveals cannot be negated. It is abadita Upanishad pramana janyatva. So Upanishad pramana can come and do badita of this anubhava. There is no doubt about that. You are also accepting in the case of aham manushyaha. Okay, then what? Nacha atmanaha jnatritvam Upanishad pramana siddham eva iti vachyam. So now they are going back to their siddhanta. They are saying, but Upanishad also reveals Atma as a Jnata. Okay. And they quoted also even before. We can quote, there are many statements are there like that, let us say. Okay. So if you say like that, then what? What we are saying is Vyavaharika Jnatritva Anuvada Paratva Vijnataram Ityadi Upanishadam. So Vijnataram Are Kena Vijaniyat and also Vijnataram like that. Also Atma is called, the one who knows. So in that case, what? It is based on whatever already people take themselves as, correct? In the Vyavahara, it is all Vyavaharika Nyatritva Anuvada Paratvam. Veda is simply repeating whatever is there in the Vyavahara. In fact, the entire Karma Kanda is like that, correct? This is one argument they always say. So, one argument is what? How can the Veda itself be one Pramana as a single body of knowledge? If you say Veda is a Pramana, it itself cannot contradict itself, because 99% of the Veda is Karma Kanda, let us say, or 95% is Karma Kanda. There it is revealing you as Karta Bhokta only, correct? They are saying Veda is revealing you as Karta Bhokta, but Bhashyakara makes a difference. Bhashyakara says Veda is simply going along with your assumption that you are Karta Bhokta. It is revealing Sadhana Sadhya Rupa, whatever Vishayas. There are different types of sadhanas and sadhyas. Whatever you are interested for, that it is giving you the sadhana. So in its paradigm, the way the Karma Kanda is a pramana, nobody can deny that. That's what Bhashyakara says. It is like even modern argument in science also, correct? There is a macro world where classical mechanics applies. In the quantum world, the same classical mechanical theories don't apply. But that doesn't mean the classical mechanics theories are invalid in the macro world, correct? In fact, all the machines and everything we have, the technology is based on classical mechanics. But quantum mechanics rules in its own world, in its own paradigm. Both of them are there. Like that, you have to look at it as under which paradigm a particular pramana is operating and revealing to you. Based on that, there are boundary conditions for everything. Understand that. So, this Upanishad negates that you are a jnata. So, and even wherever there are statements like Vijñātāram, etc., they are all in keeping their own. It is the Upanishad is only repeating whatever you have taken yourself to be. Okay, once we say this, what they cannot accept that. So he's saying, Nacha katam vyavaharopi jnanasya jnatritvam iti vachyam. So katam vyavaharataha api jnanasya jnatritvam. Even in vyavahara, how can you say jnana has jnatritvam? How can you say that like this? He is questioning me. Na vachyam, you cannot question like that. Why? It is like even like pratibhasataha rajyoho sarpatvam iva tadupapatteh. We already said it is because of tadatmya adhyasa. Like even you are seeing snake on rope, on jnanam, you are seeing jnatritvam. Okay, now there is a big discussion on whether this kind of an adhyasa can even take place. Okay. So now what is he saying? Nacha rajjau sarpaha kalpitaha iti vachyam anubhava rupepi atmani jnatuhu kalpitatvat. But once we say this, for them atma is jnata. That is not kalpita. Okay. So he is saying that is fine. On rope, the snake is imagined. It is erroneously seen. But here it is not like that, he is saying. For him, atma is jnata is not kalpita. If he says that, but you cannot say that. Why? Because we are saying anubhava rupe api atmani jnatuhu kalpitatva. So anubhava rupe atmani, in atma, which is anubhava swarupa, jnatritvam or jnatuhu, the knower is only kalpita. In fact, we can give many supporting logic also, because the knower is interdependent or mutually dependent, correct? Knower is there only when the known is there, when the triputi is there. From that alone, we can know that it is all only mithya. It's all madhu. Like this, we can give many arguments, but right now he is simply saying in the anubhava rupa atma, this knower jnatuhu kalpitatvat. The knower is only superimposed, imagined. Okay. Once we say this word, now they are raising a new argument. He's saying, no, no, wait, listen to me. Atma nama chaitanyam, jnata nama antakarana vishishta chaitanyam. So now he's saying Atma means Chaitanya. Then Jnata, you are saying, he is now paraphrasing our Siddhanta, Purvapakshi. He is saying Jnata nama antakarana vishishta Chaitanya. Jnata, the knower is nothing but the Chaitanya which is, or he is claiming the Chaitanya which is qualified by Antakarana. But for him, I think he is taking the Antakarana itself as our Chaitanya is Vishishta and Antakarana as Visheshana, we are saying. But I think they are taking it ulta. He is saying Tatascha Visheshane Vishishtasya Adhyasaha na yuktaha. Okay. So in the Visheshana or the quality, the qualified cannot be superimposed. Like this they are talking about. Why? Because for him, if we say the Antakarana and Atma are superimposed or whatever, mutual superimposition is there, even there, he is saying Atma is the Jnata. And that Jnata cannot be superimposed on the Antakarana, which is only a quality of Atma or Visheshana. So the Vishishta cannot be superimposed on the Visheshana. Like this, they are raising a point here. Katham Atmani Jnatuhu Adhyastatvam iti chet ma evam. Why? Because the Chaitanya is the substantive for us. Understand that. For him, Atma is Jnata, Chaitanya is only a Visheshana, and Antakarana also is like that for them. So you cannot say that the Jnata who is a Vishishta gets superimposed on the Antakarana. That is what they are claiming. But what we are saying is Chaitanya is the substantive or Visheshya, and in that there is no Visheshana called knowership, etc. Chaitanya is the substantive. In that there is no real Visheshana called the knowerness or knowership or whatever. Here, correct? That is what Jnatritvam. So Visheshana Abhavat. Tasya Visheshanatvam tu Bhranti Siddhameva. But if that Visheshana is still there, if you see that, then it is Bhranti, it is erroneous cognition. So what is the problem here? Once we say this, even here they are raising an objection, saying, Nacha Visheshyepi Chaitanye Katham Vishishtasya Adhyasaha iti Vachyam. See, for him, Jnata is a Vishishta. Means Jnata is the qualified already. So the Jnatritvam on Chaitanyam, even though you claim Chaitanya is a substantive, in one substantive, you cannot superimpose another substantive or something like that they are claiming. You can only superimpose Dharma or Visheshana, not Vishishta. In one Visheshya, another Vishishta cannot be superimposed. So Visheshye epi Chaitanye katam Vishishtasya adhyasaha. Like this, there is a question. Means then we say, no, why can't it be there? Neelam nabaha iti visheshye nabasi vishishtasya neela nabasaha adhyasa darshanat. Okay, what he is saying is also somewhat funny, but anyway, he is saying there is blue sky. Okay, so people say blue sky, but sky is not having any color really, correct? Or space doesn't have any color, even though blue sky is there. So in this case, space is having this adhyasa of blue sky. Blue sky is taken as a Vishishta and space is a Visheshya. Here we are taking space is the substantive, blue sky is the qualified whatever qualified entity, the blue sky is superimposed on space. So why can't you say one Visheshya cannot have, how can you say that one Visheshya cannot have a Vishishta as a superimposition? So Neela Nabasaha Adhyasa Darshana. Once we say this, what he doesn't accept that. He says, Nacha Tatra Neela Rupam Eva Adhyastam Iti Vachyam. So what they are saying is, no, Neela is the, Neela alone is Adhyasta, which is Visheshana. You cannot say that Vishishta is Adhyasta and on another Visheshya. Okay. Then what we are saying is Atrapi Antakaranameva Adhyastam Iti Tulyatva. So what we are also saying is this Antakarana is superimposed on Chaitanya. And Antakarana is Visheshana. Okay. So we are not saying Jnata is superimposed on Chaitanya. No, we will say that Antakarana is superimposed on Chaitanya. And then Antakarana activities are also taken as the activities of Atma. That's how the Jnata and all comes into the picture. We can take like that also if you are so particular. So Atrapi Antakaranameva Adhyastam iti Tulyatva. So even further what he is saying is Visheshye Vishishta Adhyasepi Visheshana Amshaha eva hi Adhyasaha bhavati. So generally he is now saying if there is a substantive and you superimpose something erroneously on that, but whatever you are superimposing, let it be a Vishishta Vastu, but even there its Visheshana Amsha alone is seen. The Visheshana Amsha of one Vishishta is seen in some other Visheshya. That is the Adhyasa. So there is no problem with this. Okay, Visheshana Amshaha eva hi Adhyastaha bhavati. Okay, once we say this, what? Okay, Adhyasa is possible. But even then he is saying, if you say like that, what should be the Anubhava or what should be the Adhyasta Anubhava? Basically, what should this Adhyasa lead to? He is having his own ideas. He is saying, okay, Neelam Nabaha, blue sky is erroneous cognition because it is because of superimposing Neela and Nabas. Neela and Nabas. Okay, blue on space, you are superimposing and claiming blue sky. But if similar Adhyasa take place, you have to say Aham Anubhavaha. Why? Because Aham is Jnata for it. Understand that. So you are superimposing Jnata and on Anubhava or Jnanam or Chaitanyam. So like superimposing Neelam on Nabhas, here we are superimposing Aham on Anubhava. And you have to claim Aham Anubhavaha. But Aham Anubhavoham iti pratiti abhavat. Na Aham arthasya Jnatuhu. Because for him Aham artha is Jnatuhu. Anubhave adhyastatvam iti vachyam. So he is claiming now, therefore there cannot be any adhyasa because there is no adhyasa anubhava similar to what you are claiming. Because even after adhyasa, you have to say aham anubhavaha because aham is jnata, and if you superimpose jnata and anubhava or jnanam, then you have to say aham anubhava is the adhyasa, is whatever is the result of adhyasa. Okay. So he is claiming that, but that is not there. So jnatuhu anubhave adhyastatvam is not there, he is saying. Like Neelam Nabaha, but you cannot say that. What we are saying is what Neelam Nabha iti vate Jnata ahamiti pratiti satvena. What we are saying is it's not the actual adhyasa, the result of adhyasa is Jnata aham for us. Correct? Not, it should not be aham anubhava. In fact, aham anubhava is the jnanam we are talking about. That is the yathartha jnanam. It cannot be adhyasa jnanam. So what we are saying, like Neelam Nabaha, Jnata Aham is the pratiti which is Adhyasa pratiti. Okay. So Jnata Aham iti pratiti satvena Nabhasi Nailyasya eva ahamarthe pratichi anubhave Jnatritvasya adhyastatva. So like even on the space, the Neela Rupa is adhyasta. Similarly, here ahamarte pratichi, whatever the innermost self, which is ahamartha, which is anubhava also. Anubhave, on this anubhava, jnana swarupa. Jnatritva is the adhyastha here for us. Jnatritvasya adhyastatva. Okay, once we say this, what even this they are not able to accept. He is saying, nacha nabaha neelamiti vat anubhavaha jnata iti pratitihi syat iti vachyam. So, for us, aham is anubhava. We are not seeing aham and anubhava differently. So, aham jnata itself is anubhavaha jnata. Like that only we are talking. But for him, it is not like that. So, he is saying, even if you say this, like nabaha neelam, like that anubhavaha jnata, like that there is no pratiti. So, how can you say on anubhava jnata is adhyastha? Like this is going on. We'll see, continue this in the next class. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Rubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು.
Om.
Thank you.